Hi, Tim Sells here. These two dragons, these are my sons, Tristan and Braxton, and this is my lovely wife. And we live up in the mountains in Utah. Okay, and so that's just a little tiny bit about me. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to run through and give you a little bit of a story of my business background, my finance background. I used to do part-time work and things like that. So, and then I'm going to just kind of inch into a little bit more pertinent conversation. So my background in terms of work has been the military. So I was in the underwater demolition, bomb squad, things like that. And I ran into, but before that, let me back up a little bit before that. When I was a young boy, about the age of Tristan, like 10, 12, 13 years old, I used to do anything that people didn't want to do. Okay, so think of a homeowner, and the homeowner doesn't want to climb up onto the roof and rake the leaves out of the gutter. That was me. I would do it, right? I would do whatever it took. Sweep a driveway, mow a yard, rake leaves, pull weeds out. I would paint somebody's fence or the door. I would clean their garbage cans, whatever I had to do to make money, okay? And then I got into the military. And in the military, I found that my income was fixed, okay? So that meant, and this right here is what we called base pay. And so I was down in the enlisted category. And so let's say, and by the way, this is in the time frame of current, and mine was a lot less. And so let's say that my income was $1,200 a month. Well, it would be $1,200 a month for 2 years before I was up for the next advancement. And if I advanced, it would go from, like in this one, it would be 18. So maybe I made $200 more per month for waiting 2 years. Okay, so the pay raises were small and it was a long wait. So I tried to do everything that I could to make more money. And so I got into like hazardous duty pay. Okay, so that was defusing bombs. I was a diver, and so I would get dive pay. So I got $83 a month for hazardous duty pay. I had $100 a month extra for dive pay, and then hostile duty pay, which is combat, I would get, I think, around $100. Okay, so I was doing everything that I could, but what I disliked the most, so they called it security. Okay, you got a steady job. That's what you want. But maybe that was my dad. Maybe that's what he wanted, because what I wanted was different. What I wanted to do was that I wanted to work real hard and make money when I worked. Okay, that was what I wanted. I didn't want to wait 2 years. I didn't want to wait or something like that. That's what I didn't want. I wanted to make money a lot faster. And by the way, it didn't matter how good I was at something, I still made the same amount of money. You know, like I could be the very best in the entire world, but it didn't make me any more money. It just meant that I would probably get a pay raise in 2 years. So that's kind of the framework that I was in. And so I began to do stuff like a side hustle is what we kind of called it, part-time stuff. So I went on course at night. I studied cars. I studied engine rebuilding, tuning cars, and painting cars. And so then I would do that at night while everybody else was watching TV. I was trying to figure out, something that I could do to make money. And then I also ran a, quote, banking. Okay, don't think banking. Think that a whole bunch of guys needed extra money, and so I would loan them some of my money. I would give them $20, and they would give me $25 back on payday. Okay, so that was my banking job. All right. So in all these different things that I was doing, I had friends that asked me to help them make more money. But I'd gone through all the work. I'd gone through all this stuff, and I didn't think, how in the world could I help some of my friends make more money? It didn't make sense to me, okay? So that was my history before I answered an ad in the newspaper, okay? So I was looking for something that didn't require me all the time. Okay, that's what I was really honestly looking for, because all of that spray painting cars, engine rebuilding, it was all me. And I was wondering, is there something that I could do, something that I could sell to make more money? Okay, because I didn't have to make more me, right? So if, let's just say that I was going to sell a bottle of, I don't know, hairspray or shampoo or something like that, then this bottle got replicated many, many times instead of me having to fix something all the time, okay? So that's the way that I viewed it. And even though that I had no experience in sales other than walking up and saying, hey, can I paint your fence or rake your leaves? I had no experience. I was very shy, very introverted kind of a guy, and I needed training. So when I went to the Washington Post newspaper and I looked at all of the sales wanted, help wanted in the sales section of the newspaper, all of them said stuff like sales experience required. But one of them, and only one of them, said will train. They would train me. I could not believe that someone was willing to train me how to make money. I thought it was a dream. You see, the reason I thought it was a dream is because when you go back to this picture and you look at it, the reason the special operations in the military is so incredible is because they train you until you really know how to do something. And that's what I wanted somebody to do with money. I wanted somebody to train me how to make money. And so when I saw this ad, I was, very, very hopeful. And the outcome is that I worked part-time while still in the military, and I got to $65,000 a month. And then I went full-time, and so in my 3 years of full-time plus 2 years of part-time, I got to $150,000 a month. I retired for 18 years, and I had an exponential residual income. What I mean by exponential residual income is that there were months where I would make an extra $20,000, an extra $30,000, okay, because it was growing. So that was my entry, and so I retired because I'd never made that kind of money before. But it was a very long road. You think from 10 years old until I was I think 28 or 30 years old by the time that I retired. And then they invited me to teach at the University of Illinois at Chicago, a course on home businesses. Larry King interviewed me on working from home. That particular one had to do with network marketing, pyramid schemes, and Ponzi schemes, and what's the difference and legitimacy of it. I wrote a video with a professor at the University of Illinois at Chicago. His name was Professor Charles King. It's called Brilliant Compensation, and it was explaining home businesses. And then I spoke on big, huge stages. I consulted a couple of hundred network marketing companies, and then my own company that I built my business with. It was a network marketing company. They bought my business from me. All right. And I was also interviewed by Grant Cardone, and then I got I wanted to build a new business, and so I joined a new network marketing company. Right. So that's a little bit about my background, and what I'm going to go through here with you is why I chose network marketing again, because I had started many businesses after that, and why I chose network marketing again. Okay, it had to do with the exponential residual income. I found nowhere else I could get it, and also the social media boom that I was watching. And then I'm going to explain why I chose Ariix. There's very stiff criteria here. And why was I willing to be number one, all right? And my results, okay? So let's dive in. The first thing is, why did I choose network marketing again, okay? And it's because I really understand it. So this would be an example of a job, and this is network marketing. Okay, so in a job, you've got a building, you've got executives, you've got policies written by the executives. The executives have created products and services, and they hire employees. Okay, no different in network marketing. All of those things is the same. All right, there is a difference, though, when you get down to how is this company or this company going to market their products. And so in the marketing of, in this one, they offer a salary, but no upside potential. They may offer salary and commission, but it's not the upside potential. Okay, so you can think of a company like Procter & Gamble or something like that. If they do salary plus commission, and somebody happens to get 7-Eleven stores, like all of the 7-Eleven, 43,000 of them around the world, to take Procter & Gamble's products in. They sell like shampoo and soap and toothpaste and toothbrushes and things like that. And so if a salesperson goes in and gets the contract for all 43,000, that sales rep will make their salary, they'll make their commission. But inside of the employee contract, it says you have no upside potential. Okay? And that is where it's different. In network marketing, their offer is, we're not going to give you a salary, but we're going to give you the upside potential of whatever you bring to the company. Okay? That's, in my mind, it is owning a business and the company is your partner. And there are a lot of things about business ownership that I don't like to do. I don't like hiring employees. I don't like managing employees. I don't like coming up with all of the products, the packaging, and all of that stuff. And so it is good for me to partner with a company that has my same values. Okay? That way it's more like a partnership. All right, so I had already run traditional businesses before, and I already knew that all businesses have to get people. So, and they all have to recruit people. It's just whether they pay them a salary or they pay them commission. That's the only thing between these companies at all. And then in my experience, that network marketing is the only way to get exponential residual income. Everybody knows residual income. So let's say that my phone is an example. The phone is the carrier who I pay monthly for. So the phone might have cost me $1,000, but the service might cost me $100 a month or something. And so every time I pay, they get residual income. Your house is residual income. So when you pay your mortgage, that payment is residual income. Okay, makes sense, right? Well, phones don't get other phones. Houses don't get other houses. You see, that's the difference. And I give you an example of this. So I sponsored 129 people into the business. Exponential growth to 41,820. How in the world could I duplicate myself 41,000 times? You see, that is what I believe is exclusive to network marketing. I got 40 customers and now I have 36,953. Okay, so that's the difference, all right? So, however, you have to have a company that goes long term, because you can do a lot of work and it's short-lived, and then you don't get that residual income nor exponential residual income. Okay, so there's a lot to think about there, and that's what I'm going to talk to you about in a minute. The other thing is, I couldn't believe social media. All right, like it's the biggest boom I'd ever seen. So I built my first business back in 1989, and that's when we had fax machines. So you can imagine that it was like mind-boggling to me to watch social media, to watch a company that just basically came out with an app called Facebook, and you linked your friends to other people, and they linked their friends, and so forth. And so they were building like a whole genealogy of the world. So that, to me, has been completely underestimated. So it's friends plus friends of friends, groups based upon their interest. Okay, so those are two different categories there. So if I happen to like trucks, then I can get into a group of people who like trucks, right? So the categories as well as friends of friends. I just couldn't even believe that, and I didn't want to miss it. There's never been an easier time ever that I've seen to build. So that was the reason I wanted to come back in. I'm going to give you just my strategy. I'm going to give you exactly what I've done so that you can get a picture of it. So about 90% of everything that I do is all online marketing in some way, okay? So I ran 3 different advertisements. I wanted to build a business in China because I like diversification, okay? So I don't want, like my, like I'd rather have multiple currencies. So if the US dollar is down, well, maybe the yen or the won or the franc or something is up, right? So I want money coming out of different countries. And so I wanted a business in China. And I ran 3 advertisements. And from those advertisements, I just basically do Zoom meetings. And I do Zooms and Zooms and Zooms and Zooms, okay? And it's like 95% of everything is done online. So that's how I built my business to sponsor 129 to then have the 43,000, okay? So now let me outline why I chose this particular company, okay? Now you got to remember I consulted 200 network marketing companies. I was behind the scene. I saw what was going on, and most of it I didn't like what I saw. All right, I saw lying, like they would stand on the stage and they would tell a story, but I was on the inside and I knew what was really happening. I would see them pull money back from people and various different things, and I just didn't like it at all. They'd change compensation plans later after everybody was geared up and they were, working, and then, change compensation plan. Didn't make sense to me. So I'm going to go through my 5 criteria and why I chose to come. So this is the 5 criteria. And so this was mine based upon 18 years of retirement working behind the scenes. So number 1, the owners. And I cannot emphasize the importance of this sequence. Most people go after a product or they go after a compensation plan, and that's wrong, okay? It has to be first. You've got to look at who you're partnering with because you're going to give them half of your money. So they make decisions on your behalf, and so you have to look at it and go, do I really want them making decisions for me? Number 2 is products. Does it get a real customer? Most of the time that I have seen where products, they don't get a customer outside of the business, and so each person's just kind of selling to themselves. And I've not found those to last. Growth, most of the time when I was brought into a company, it was because they wanted me to help grow the company. They had sales had dropped off or they were flat, and they wanted me to boost them. Next is compensation plan. Bottom line is, can you make money in it? But there are so many tricks that companies play to keep the money away from you, even though it looks like a lot of money. And so that is, I'm going to really help you on that one. And then there's training. And does the training equal the income? All right. So all companies that you will ever see in network marketing, they all say that they're the best in these categories. And my experience has been that it's not the case. Okay. And you would have to compare one to another, and then one to others, and then one to many. So after 200 companies, I'm able to now say which one is best. Okay, so I'll show you. Number one, owners make decisions on your behalf. Okay, so what decisions are they making? They are making product decisions. A lot of times people want to do affiliate marketing. And affiliate marketing is similar to network marketing because you get a product from somebody else and you sell their product. All right, well, are they planning on being around for a long time, or is this going to be a real quick one-shot deal? Number two is where the products come from. And then what's the quality control on it? A lot of decisions have to go into making that product. And I wanted a company that I would be able to, the only way to get residual income is to make sure that they're going to be around for a long time, okay? Marketing. So most of the companies create their marketing materials. I myself personally prefer to do my own marketing materials because I'm in the trenches. I'm in the field. I know what's going on, right? I get the customer feedback. But they normally create brochures and things like that. Shipping is another one. They create all the logistics. They get the products into Russia. They get their products into Ukraine. They get their products into Italy and things like that. And it gives us bigger markets to go participate in. They do the country licensing. I don't want to do that stuff, right? They do the compensation plan. They pay all over the world in different currencies. I don't want to do that. And they cover all the legal. I definitely don't want to do that. And so all of these things are something that I would want to give to another person. And if I had a business partner, I would be willing to share 50-50, okay? You do all of this stuff, I'll go sell the stuff. I'll build a sales team to sell the stuff. Okay, so that is what you're really deciding when you choose a network marketing company, all right? And this is a lot to depend on. And so you want very competent owners is what you want. That's what you want as a partner. And so, yeah, all right. These are the partners, okay? I just happened to be a consultant of the previous company that they were in, and so I got to know them for 6 years. And so it was, you know, the very best of the best. They were the very best of the publicly traded companies on the New York Stock Exchange. They are not now a public company, and I'm glad that they're not. But back in the other company, they were. I just happened to be in a situation where I saw a falling out of the owners or the executives with the owner. And then they asked me to join them in starting a new company, and you know, and it worked out really well. So, yeah, so each one of these are the very best in their particular category, all right? Just incredibly knowledgeable people. This is Jeff Yates. He is the Chief Financial Officer. He had been CFO in multiple publicly traded companies, and so very, very knowledgeable. You just don't get that kind of guy in a startup company. Winhan, he is the programmer worldwide in all markets for all of our internet technologies. Ian Chandler, he's a data scientist. He's been behind the scenes looking at all the numbers around the world, okay, for 15 years, I think he's been doing it now. So amazing, helpful guy in that sense, but he's the chief sales officer in the United States. That's the CEO, Fred Cooper, genius, like really super high IQ and real fun, all right? He's not a old staunch kind of a guy. He's a real fun guy. Deanna Latson, she's the only person who wasn't with this management team before. I found her. She has a passion for saving the world and through products, and she will, and she has. Okay. Mark Wilson, he's incredible. He's like the president of the company, and he was really the most responsible person for bringing me into the business. Okay. So I'm forever indebted to him for that. Okay. And so this gentleman here is actually over Chief of Operations. His name is Riley Timmer. And again, all of these guys work together. Fantastic, very knowledgeable, very competent people. And it's not because I say so, it's because they demonstrated, all right? They won the CEO Award, the CEO World Awards for the best management team, gold status, okay? So really super things. They've got 161 awards from network marketing as well as outside of network marketing, just like the one that I just described to you there, okay? If there was one primary reason that I joined, if it was one, it's not, but if it's one, it would be this thing right here. This is the check and balance of power. Most and all network marketing companies do not give you a balance of power. They give you a lopsided relationship is what they give you. And so I'm not going to go through all these, but I am going to share this. I'm going to go through these one with the purple. So number one is to share in the profits. They created this organization called the Founders Club, where if you earn partnership status with them, then you get to share in the profits, okay? Each country will have its founders, okay? So that to me was huge. The compensation plan pays out the most of any compensation plan, but in addition to that, they were willing to share half of their profits, all right? So I just couldn't even believe that that was an offer. True ownership and protection, and what I mean by protection is that they can't terminate you. If something happens, you've been really, really bad, and you get terminated, you can appeal it to the Founders Club, in other words, the representatives, and we get to vote. So we can veto whatever the company does in terms of termination. We can say, no, we're going to keep him. Okay, so most companies can terminate somebody and then they get the money, right? And so it's in their interest to terminate people. And so, our company created that exchange in power, balance in power. To review the compensation plan changes, in other words, the Founders Club has the ability, we have the same voting rights as does the executives on compensation plan changes. I can't tell you how many people go into compensation plans and end up getting them changed over and over and over again. They're making $20,000 a month, and then they do compensation plan changes, enhancements. It enhanced corporate. It doesn't enhance the field. So, they're making $20,000 and it goes to $12,000 or something. And then committed to the network marketing channel. There was just a company, Advocare, here in the United States, and they just quit network marketing and kept all the customers. Okay, so they stopped paying commissions, but kept all the customers. Okay, so they are committed. It's in our contract. And then the last one is that you get to maintain the original agreement that you came in on. That's very different. Okay, nobody does that. Every other company, if you cash the check, then that means you agreed to this week's changes. Okay, very different. That thing's incredible. The next one is products, and really what we're looking for, a lot of people chase a single product, and I assure you that is a bad idea, because let's say the company loses the licensing to that particular product that they license, or let's say that the raw ingredients, they can't get it anymore. And now you bet everything on a product as opposed to a management team that creates great products. So, do the products get real customers? That's what you're really looking for. So these, we do it a little bit different. So instead of having a whole bunch of products in a big store, we do it in brands. Okay, and so It's like this one is nutrition, this is weight loss, this is air and water filtration. These two are skin care. This is hair care, kind of like what you would use in your shower and soap and things like that. This is essential oils. And so these are different brands of products. Okay, and so the whole idea here is that they give you products that you can build a customer base around. And that customer base is what gives you a residual income. You train a sales team to do this, and then you get exponential residual income. That's the whole idea behind this, okay? And I know that some people love digital products, right? So there's a big rush in that, and now we're starting to see the curvature of that, and meaning the downsides of that. There's no loyalty there, all right? And what do I mean by loyalty? When you have a product changes a person's life, that person becomes loyal to that brand. And it's easier to help that person see other products. Where digital products don't work that way, every network marketing company that I've been around has eventually gone out of business that sold in the digital domain. All right, so there's just not a lot that stay around for very long. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay, so I've got a couple more slides to show you. I'm going to load them up into the board and I'll be right back. All right, we're back. So on digital products versus tangible products, this is a picture of me. This is before. This is after, and then this is another period of time after, okay? So I had a real hard time. Even though I was in the military, I ran, like a lot of exercise and things like that in the military, I began to get fat, okay? I didn't like it. I have a beautiful wife, and so it frustrated me very much. And so the girl that I showed you, Deanna, she was telling me about these products. And I said, Deanna, it's only calories and exercise that cause weight loss, okay? And she said, well, Tim, the science shows different. And so I thought, well, I'll give it a try. And so I really focused on it. And here's the reason I focused on it, is because there's a huge weight loss study of 278,000 people, obese people, and 99.5% of those people failed at losing weight in the study. And then 78% of the people that did succeed regained their weight. Well, that's a lot. That's a lot of failing, but it's what I see out there, okay? And so perhaps something's different. Perhaps our old belief of calories and exercise is all there is not true. And that's what I found. Okay, so there was a study in these, and it lost 300% more weight than if people just ate the diet. Okay, this is me from here to here, no exercise. I then continued on with very specific foods and this, and from that to that was another 60 days, and it was an extra 7 pounds that I lost. And that one I did exercise with, but just body workout, like push-ups and pull-ups and things like that. Okay, so and not only that, but it's won awards outside of network marketing. Okay, so it's very innovative product. Now you say, okay, well that's you, Tim. Maybe I can't have the same thing. Well, that's what I thought. I thought, well, maybe I'm different. So I ran an ad online, and I found 24 older men. I had them do the same thing I did. And the average, nobody will ever show you the averages. Okay, this is the average, lost 26.7 pounds. Not every man lost 26 pounds. Like this guy here, he lost like 39 pounds. And then there's some people in here, like these guys right here, that didn't even have 10 pounds to lose. Okay, so they were trying to lose their last 7 pounds. So, but the average was 26.7 pounds in 60 days with no exercise. Okay, so pretty incredible. My wife has a similar product for women, And it's just super, because if you look at this right here, where it says 99.53% fail, what that means statistically is that in order for me to get one person to lose weight, I needed 210 people in order to get one to lose weight. But every one of these guys lost weight. Okay? And then we looked at it 2 years later, not 5 years or 7 years or whatever they did, 2 years later, and we had a 92% success rate. In other words, they hadn't gained it back. Only 2 of these guys had gained some weight back, but not as much as they were when they started. Okay, so that was 2 years afterwards. Really tremendous. Okay, I'm going to go into another product here, and that's this right here, and this is the filter that goes on the inside with straw. Okay, and so most people, when you were to ask them, "Hey, what kind of filter should I buy?" Right? That's the wrong question. It's what are you trying to filter out? That's what you're supposed to ask, but nobody knows that. Okay? Water filtration right now is $37 billion a year, and it's expected to go to $103 billion by 2028. That's scary. What's in our water? Well, that's the question you need to ask, is what am I trying to filter out? And so most people know germs. And so in the military, they always taught you, you want to get rid of bacteria and viruses and parasites and protozoas and things like that. All right. So most people know about that. Well, this gets that out. But what a lot of people don't know is that there are drugs. And so if your neighbor is on drugs, then you are drinking drugs. Right? So Prozac, birth control, like if your wife can't get pregnant or you can't get pregnant, it's, maybe you're taking birth control through the drinking water, right? Anti-seizure medication, hormone disruptors, all kinds of things are in the drugs. And there's also heavy metals. So lead, mercury, copper, arsenic, and a lot more. There's also, what they do to kill this is that they add like chlorine, they add ammonia, they add different things to kill the bugs. But is this harmful? Yes, it is. Okay. And so, but you also have industrial stuff in there, when you like strip paint off of wood, where do you think the stripping agent goes into water, right? All of it. Every single thing on earth ends up in water somehow, okay? So this little guy right here, this filter, gets out, on average, 94.42% of all of those. It's crazy, okay? It's crazy, and it's portable. So a lot of people will use some big machine like reverse osmosis or something. Well, no, we don't. We just take that, okay? So it's really, really cool. The next thing is, this is not necessarily, you wouldn't view it as a product, but it is a really, really neat thing that they've done. Okay, so most people, when they go traveling, they're going to go online and they're going to find hotels or Trivago or Orbitz, or maybe they go to bookings.com or rentalcars.com or something like that, right? And they think they're getting the very least expensive price. But a lot of people don't know that Expedia and Priceline own all of these. Okay, so it's like 90% control between these two companies. Well, they shook hands and made a deal. Hey, let's not just keep dropping our prices down to zero. Let's lock in a price. And so if you happen to be on hotels.com, all right, over here, open up a new browser and go to Priceline or go to Bookings or something like that. And then just refresh the screen on a hotel or a cruise ship or something like that. You will see that this will give you a $5 discount. But if you refresh this screen, then it'll give you a $5 discount. And so they just jockey it. So they're playing with you, right? Somebody said there's no profit in travel in the travel industry. Ha! Priceline made $4 billion last year. $4 billion in profit. Not sales, profit. Okay? Huge, huge money in here. So these are just some of the examples of the discounts that you can get with our RX travel. So this is going to Dominican Republic, 72% savings. Okay, so 5,758 savings. Okay, so you only paid $2,000 where everybody else paid $5,000. This one over here, you paid $566 instead of $2,600. That was in Indonesia. Here is Italy. Instead of paying $1,500, you paid $629. All right? And it's no different. It's the same product. That's what's amazing about this, okay? And it's not just a savings. What you can also do here is that you can earn money. So let's say that you happen to know a couple and they just got married and they're going to go on their honeymoon. And so you say, hey, where are you wanting to go? And they say, oh, we're thinking about going to Greece. Well, just send 1,000 reward dollars to a friend using the special link. Okay, so you're just going to send them a link, right? They click on it. If they book a hotel in there, they save $1,000 because you gave it to them. But you get $1,000 in cash back. It's really the way it works. Okay, so now to build residual income, when you think about people saving money on travel, they get loyal to all the products and the business and everything because of the savings that they're getting on travel, all right? So let me jump into compensation plan real quick, all right? I'm not going to get real deep into it, but I'm just going to talk a little bit about making money on this. So just like if you were to go into any kind of business and you sell a product, you know, like let's say that you took something like this right here, right? And so you can make about a 30% profit. Okay? So you sell this, you make 30%. All right. That's the retail profit. Okay? So plus, the company pays you an extra bonus. They call it a customer acquisition bonus, all right? And so you can make up to 30% additional to the retail, or 25% or 20%. It really just has to do with what you do in your first, like 60 days or so, no, first 4 Fridays. It's if you produce this amount of volume, then you'll get 30% from then on all your customer acquisitions, all right? And so if you can just kind of picture that, if you sell 1,500 points of volume, then you're going to make $450. 1,000 points, you make $250 and so on, all right? So it's not difficult to understand at all. It's just a simple way of earning money. All right, so what do you need to know about compensation? Now, number one is that you want to look at the total payout. They call it the pie size. Some companies pay a big pie, and some companies have pies like this, but they act like they're big. And then there's the balance of the payout. And I just want you to picture like a balloon, and you squeeze the balloon in the middle. That means that you're going to give people who have a big business, you're going to give them a lot, and you're going to give the brand new people coming in money, but you're not going to give any money on the middle of them. Okay? And so if you have a small pie size, you have to squeeze it. Sometimes they squeeze it at the bottom and push everything to the top. And that literally is the people at the top make all the money. And it's because of the squeezing of the compensation plan, so they put all of the money up at the top. Or they squeeze it at the bottom, right? And so the people just coming in can make quick money, but there's no residual income. So you don't attract big leaders. So that's the way that they shift that around, okay? The next thing is simplicity of building. And by simplicity of building, what I mean by that is that this is the dreaded question, is if I only sponsor 2 people, how much money can I make? Nobody wants to hear that question in network marketing. But in our company, if you just sponsored 2 people, the right 2 people, then you could make $150,000 a year. Okay? Just 2 people. So that's the question nobody wants, and it's real simple. It's not a complicated, oh, you got to have 10 of those and 9 of these, and then it's none of that. Tripwires is the things that you never want, and those tripwires have to do with just jockeying around. Like if you became a something director or something like that, you don't get paid on it if you have a director under you. Okay, in other words, you have to be a leader above that person in order to get it. Eventually, somebody's going to be better than you, and then you're not going to get paid on those people. Well, that's ridiculous, okay? So it's just, every one of these are just cheesy ways that companies keep money from you. Ariix did none of that. They don't have any of those tripwires. I would have caught them, okay? So really, this is amazing stuff. This is proof. We have built a database of all companies, like 47 different companies. And this is Ariix right here. And so here's the pie size. It shows that if you sponsored 2 people and they joined with, each month they do a minimum of 100, and they came in trying a pack of about 500 points of volume, and you duplicated that 15 levels deep, then the company's going to pay out 55%. Okay? It's big pie size. You contrast that to something like Organo Gold. They pay out 38%. doTERRA pays out 24%, 22% with Modere. And so pie size has a lot to do with that. Okay, here's the squeeze. All right, so in Ariix, you would have 9 million total payout. If you were in, say, Jeunesse, you would have 5 million total payout. So it's almost double. But look at this. The top rep would make $102,000 in Ariix. The top rep in Jeunesse would make $127,000. So, wait a minute. You mean Jeunesse is going to make more money? Well, the top person's going to make more money. But the team, remember I told you about that squeezing in the middle? They put money on the top, they put money on the bottom, but nothing in the middle. The middle people are not going to make money. They're not going to be able to go full time. The people at the top, I assure you, they're very frustrated because they don't have like leaders making good money. And it really bugs people, and it should bug people. But it's because of the way the comp plan is rigged, they squeeze it in the middle. Okay? So that's an example of that they squeezed it in the middle. Okay? And then, and this right here, this is just something on Jeunesse, is that they have a cap. All right? It's capped at 60%. And you say, 60%? We're paying out 55%. No, you missed a little tiny cheat. All right? They cheated because they said of CV. Okay? So 60% of CV. It's capped at 60% of CV. The CV is 0.65. Okay? So 60% payout, right? So you can see there that what they're really paying out is like 30-something%. All right? So like 6 times 6 is 36. So it's 36% payout. But they also throw in their incentive trips. That's in there too. That's crazy. Why would you do that? So it's capped, which means they'll only pay out 60% of CV. It's capped. If they send you on a cruise, then they are adding that as incentives. If they do a big convention and spend $2 million on a convention, then They're just pulling it out of the compensation plan. So you'll see at the end of an incentive trip, you'll make less money. At the end of a convention, you'll make less money because they had to pay for that. So they pull it out of the compensation plan. So it's not really compensation. And last thing here is training. And does the training equal income? Okay, so this is all there is pretty much to network marketing. All right, so I've been in it for 30 years now. You have to generate a lead. You have to contact the person. You have to set the appointment, presentation, follow up. And for that, you get to service a customer, which gives you money. Or you service a rep by training them, and then you make money because you serve them. Well, it just so happens that every business in the world has to do this same thing. There's no business. Think of an attorney. That person has to generate a lead. They have to contact them. They have to set an appointment. They have to do a presentation. They have to follow up. And then they get to serve the client. A doctor has to do this. Every store, every restaurant has to do this. In fact, I had to do this to get my wife. So everybody has to do this for everything. And so you might as well learn it, okay? And so in the final here, I'm going to just walk through something, and that is that what have been the results. I want to give you a quick shot at what the results are. All right, it's no guarantee that you'll get the same results, but these are the results that we've got. Number one, like I have 57 millionaires on my team. I don't know how many companies, like regular companies, not network marketing companies, can say, hey, I got 57 millionaires in the company, right? So when people talk about few people make money, that's not true. That's not true at all. All right. And I have about 5,401 who average $280,000. Okay. So let me load a couple of slides and I'll be right back to show you some of the other people who are making money. All right. So we're back. I loaded up some pictures to show you just some of the very recent like successes that are going on. This right here was in France, and the reason that I love this is because I love to focus on the first $100, because when a person reaches $100, they move over into the top 20% of money earners. Okay, it's a category that when you shift, then, but by the way, that's no different than all online marketing. Okay, you're going to take 80% of the people who don't make anything and 20% who make money, right? And so if you can get across that $100 threshold, no matter what, then that moves you into that category. So that's the reason I love this particular one. And so I'll show you who these people are. So there was a person in France. It's this lady right here. She just created a woman's movement. All right. Like, that's all I can say. You can see the room is full. She's making $12,000 a week. She's making $6,000. She's making $6,000 a week. Okay. So just awesome. This is $500 a week. And we were just in Italy and we took these pictures. And so this keeps on going, by the way. The whole stage was full. And so that's $500 a week. And this right here is this person and this person, they're twins. They're both making $4,000 a week. And this lady here is $4,000 a week, and I've got a picture of a couple of her leaders. This gentleman right here is, this is something extra. He's making $6,000 a week, but he got a $10,000 bonus. This is so cool. The company created this thing where they create retention. So a person comes in and they start making money. The company puts aside a certain amount of money extra for them. In other words, the company is doing this. And once it accumulates to $10,000, they pay it out. They don't pay it out before then. Okay? And so it's an incentive to keep a person going. All right? It's a retention strategy, and it's really, really good. So he got paid $10,000 bonus. And then this lady here, right? So it was the one that was in the picture before. She's making $4,000 a week. She's making $1,000 a week, and she's at about $750 a week. And you can see she's doing a Zoom just like I am all the time, right? And she also got that $10,000 bonus. And that's in Spain. Okay, we're just about to open Spain. And this couple here, they're in San Diego, California, and their first check that they got was $1,000 for their first week. All right, so it's super. They're really fun couple. And then this lady right here, okay, she's making $4,000 a week. All right, and I was at that event, so that's me right there. It's my friend Steve. That's the president of the company. And this right here, that's one of the twins that I showed you, okay? And so these two have a baby together, and he's at home holding the baby, brushing his teeth, and she's on the stage, okay? So it's kind of fun. Really appreciate you looking at this and taking the time to listen to me walk through why I chose to get back into network marketing and why I chose Ariix. Hope it's been helpful.